Aloha, YouTube investors. How is everybody doing today? My name is David Yansen. Welcome to my channel. Today is September 24th. It is Wednesday, 2020. And like I showed in a previous video earlier today, I started a transfer over to Fidelity from M1 Finance. If you're new to my channel, welcome. For everybody who has been following my channel and has subscribed, big mahalo, thank you to you. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and feel free to hit the subscribe button and like the video if you find it informative. So M1 Finance, if you're new to the channel, I have two accounts. I have a Roth IRA and I had an individual account. I started the individual account last year in July, and because I really wasn't sure about M1 Finance, but I wanted a brokerage that didn't charge any fees, that was relatively easy to use, and did fractional shares, because I originally had Acorns and I had Stash, but both of them, their fees either went up or they started charging fees, so I started looking for other brokerages. So first I went with Robinhood and I liked it. It was easy to use and stuff. And then I moved over to M1 Finance because I liked the organization of it. I like the pies, I like the slices, I like naming my own pies and my own slices, and it gave me a way to start looking into individual holdings without feeling overwhelmed at looking at these individual holdings. So that's what I liked about M1 Finance at the beginning. I also feel that M1 Finance, for a long-term investor, because you only have one trading window, it gives you a degree of discipline. So you don't have to worry too much about fear of missing out, because FOMO, because you only have one trading window. So you're just not pulling the trigger every time you see the stock market or a certain holding that you have go a little bit red or a little bit green. Anytime there's a dip, sometimes you feel like, oh, I need to jump on that right now. And that's the downside, in my opinion, of as for a new investor of like if you go into Webull or Robinhood, is you can deposit money. It is instant there. It is there instantly, and then you can just you can just buy, right then. They fund your account, that money up to $1,000 right at that point. So, and if you haven't been able to do your due diligence to research that company, and you're doing it and you're buying it or selling it based on fear of missing out, or because you see a little bit of red or a little bit of green with your holding, then in my opinion, you could be making a bad decision. And I have made those. So I have older videos back in June and July talking about making bad buys in Robinhood. So far, I have a little bit of Webull. I've avoided that with Webull, because by the time I got into Webull, I was a little bit more seasoned and able to have a little bit more control and discipline, thankfully, to M1 Finance. So no bad vibes to M1 Finance whatsoever. I am very grateful for them that they had fractional shares, no commissions, no fees, and it really helped springboard me into what I believe is the next stage in my investment journey, switching over to Fidelity. So the only downside that I have with these brokerages, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, is sometimes I feel like, even Webull, it's a new brokerage, but it's really structured towards day trading, is as a new investor, you can feel overwhelmed. You can look at this and you can see accounts and trade, plan and advice, news and research. And if you're not one of those people that already have an idea about investing, or are able, or you have the time to go through a brokerage and learn it slowly, or maybe you learn things quickly. I tend to be a little bit of a slower learner when it comes to reading things. I pick up on things a little bit faster and retain them better when it's being told to me, when I'm being instructed, versus me having to learn it on my own. So that's where M1 Finance helped me out, where Fidelity and Schwab, I think, could be a little bit overwhelming. You've got all these tabs up here. Once you hover over one, it breaks down all this, and then it opens up all of these for you, which I like now because I'm more comfortable at this stage in my investment journey, as I understand what some of these things mean. Like before, when I first started, I had heard of an ETF. I had heard of stocks, and I had heard of bonds and CDs and stuff. But other than that, mutual funds, never heard of. Right here. Quotes, no clue. Still kind of hazy on quotes. I don't really use that a whole lot. Sector investing, no clue when I first started. Straightforward pricing, well, this is just why Fidelity. But 429 college savings, I did hear about that because it was just something I talked about at one time when I thought that I looked into at one time when I thought that I was going to get married like 20 years ago or whatever. Never happened. So you can see how this could be kind of overwhelming as a first-time investor if you come in here if you don't have the time to sit down and learn it and go through their videos. And that is one thing that I do like about Fidelity is they do have some videos that do kind of help you along the way a little bit. So what I wanted to show you in this video is what it looks like as everything is being transferred over from M1 Finance. So I went into accounts and trade. I scrolled down here to transfers, and when I clicked on that, it gives you this information here. As you can see, I've already been doing some things in here. View pending transfers, track and account transfer. And it was very easy to set up. I wish I had recorded how I was setting it up, but it was just asking for so much personal information as far as social security number and account information and addresses and phone numbers and stuff like that. I felt like if it was a 5-minute video, 1 minute of it would have been something that you could watch, and I'm not that good of an editor yet to where I do the blurring out and the fuzzying out of things and stuff like that. So, but I will show you this, and I do like this about Fidelity is once you click on track your account, it gives you all this information. It gives you your account information and stuff like that. I probably should block this out, the Fidelity one. Excuse me. But it gives you all this information here, and it tells you transferring all or part of an account to Fidelity. See the status below. Moving money between bank account, credit union, Fidelity. View status, activity, and orders. And then I just clicked on the progress here, and it shows you. I submitted it on the 18th. Processed by Fidelity was basically the same day. Estimated completion date is 9/25/2020. See that up here, and it tells you everything's in the process is in progress. Sorry, and then it tells you here the next step that I'm waiting on is processed by M1 Finance. But what M1 Finance did do on Monday is it did start selling everything. So these are all my holdings, and I have a video talking about M1 Finance, how they you're not transferring over any fractional shares that you have. So if you have a lot of fractional shares like I do and you go to transfer into Fidelity, I'm not sure about how the other brokerages, how they work, but I know when I was moving from M1 Finance into Fidelity here, it liquidated all of my fractional shares. So right here you can see it says credit balance, credit cash balance. This is what has been liquidated from all my fractional shares. So Tesla I only own fractional shares of, MasterCard, NVIDIA, all that liquidated. Some of these other holdings I had whole shares of. So AT&T, you can see it says quantity 8 came over. Whatever the fractional share amount was that was after that I had, it's all in this $1,200 now. So I do kind of like that because now I feel like with the way the stock market has dipped in the month of September here, it has been slumping September, and it's a good buying opportunity in my opinion. Now I can build out my portfolio in some of these other positions. And I do have a lot of holdings in my opinion, but I'm about to be 45 and I wanted to be as diversified as possible. And I was new to the stock market, so I thought, I'll grab as many of these good companies as I can, as there are tons of solid companies in the U.S. stock market, and then I will focus on those ones that once I feel comfortable, I will build out my positions heavily on some of those others. So some of the ones that I feel like I can build out more on: 1, Verizon; 2, J.P. Morgan Chase; 3, Pepsi. Realty income, I will build out more in my Roth IRA and M1 Finance. You can check that video. And then I'll probably buy a little bit more of AT&T and Coca-Cola, but I'll really be looking to build out Costco and possibly add a couple more utilities that I've been looking at recently here. But if September keeps dipping the way that it is, as it's been a very volatile month, 1 or 2 days green, 3 or 4 days red, if it continues to be like that, then some of these will continue to hang low, and so I consider them low-hanging fruit. So I will build out my position in some of these other companies that I've been looking at. I know it's a lot of holdings, but I'm still going to take the majority of this 1,200 and put it into Verizon, Pepsi, Johnson & Johnson. AbbVie has been low. I will possibly put some more money into them. And then just because I believe EV is the future, and if you've seen my Robinhood portfolio, you know I am up pretty good, over 200 and something percent with NEO. I was up well over $200 with Tesla, and I sold out and I bought into Costco with that, and then I was still up again another $200, or actually not another 200, I think it was like another 100 and something. But that has been sold out now and put into this $1,200 cash balance. So I will probably buy another really small position in the Tesla again, and then I'll just kind of feel it out to see how the stock market is moving, because I really just try to buy the dips. When the stock market is high, I still try to dollar cost average the best that I can into companies that aren't too high. Typically that is AT&T and Verizon, Realty. AbbVie started taking dips here this month, so I did buy 2 shares of them this month. The banks I don't really plan on to contribute to unless they fall significantly, but I will do another video once this completely gets to the process by M1 Finance. I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'll show you when it's all completed and I have the money available in the account to be able to start doing some trades. So thanks for following my channel. I hope everybody has a great day. Mahalo and aloha.